This is not the Dreyfus affair. This is the case of Bradley Manning. It is a travesty of justice, and the military judge refused to dismiss the most serious charge against Private Manning, aiding and abetting the enemy, for having blown the whistle on war crimes. We thank Bradley Manning for telling us what happened in Gitmo, what happened in Afghanistan, what happened in Iraq, and the diplomatic cables. Thank you, Brad. Thank you, Ed Snowden. The closing arguments yesterday of the Bradley Manning trial, where the prosecutors are trying to persuade the judge that leaking to the press constitutes an act of treason and aiding the enemy. That means all of us in the future. We will not stand for this, will we? No! That means that if you, any information leaked to the internet or hyperlinked to the internet, you could be aiding the enemy and it's your neck that is next. We won't stand for this. This is an absolute notstand. We have to go out and make sure that our constitutional rights are restored. This is an emergency. No case has ever been prosecuted under this type of theory, that an individual, by giving information to a journalistic organization, would be subjected to 104 offense of aiding the enemy. The military prosecutor said Manning ultimately knew that he provided to WikiLeaks would make its way to the enemy because he knew the enemy used the WikiLeaks and used the internet. What an absurd logic. We all use the internet. That means we're all the enemy. So we're all Bradley Manning, aren't we? Right? Right. We are all Bradley Manning. I'm very happy that the German Association, IALANA, and the Transparency International, and the German Association of Scientists gave Edward Snowden this week a prize for the whistleblowing prize in Germany. And they follow 4 basic criteria. Sorry. By revealing the wrongdoing, 1. By having alarmed the public with disclosures, 2. By having served the public interest and not for their own profit or gain, and by risking retaliation. These 2 brave young are risking their lives for humanity. It is our duty to protect them with whatever means necessary. I'd like to tell you, these 2 young men engaged in an act of legitimate political, civil, and social disruption with an act of civil disobedience, disrupting a system which has lost all legal, moral legitimacy and purports to be above the law. These acts of civil disobedience are a legitimate form of protest because it should disrupt the normal functioning of a dysfunctional political system that endorses extrajudicial killings, the reversal of habeas corpus, of due process, of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, as well as the laws of sovereign countries. In other words, the protest is appropriate because it should disrupt a system, a dysfunctional political system. We will not stand for this doublespeak. He's a hero, but they call him a traitor. He has spoken truth to power, and that's why we're all here today. Worldwide, we are very thankful for their sacrifice. The U.S. government is violating the 4th, the 5th, the 8th Amendments to the Constitutions, the press freedoms. Everyone is now aiding the enemy and committing acts of treason and being charged with the Espionage Act. A 2-time Pulitzer Prize winner James Risen has to give his sources, and in front of court, unheard of in our history. These rulings by the FISA court, the secret courts, disrupt and corrupt the most basic notions of justice. Thank you. It destroys the essence. Thank you. Diana, take over. It disrupts corrupts and destroys the essence and spirit of confidential communications for citizens everywhere. Justice must be seen to be done, and it's immoral. The immoral cannot be made moral through the use of secret law. The U.S. government does not categorize Mr. Snowden or Bradley Manning as a whistleblower and claims that they have broken the law of the United States. The more I read the cables, he said, Bradley Manning, the more I came to the conclusion that this type of information should become public. We should be the judges of who broke the law. I'm asking you, who has betrayed who? Who broke the law? Okay, these two men are asking the world for justice, and we have to deliver it to them. If not, we're in a very, very tragic situation. We need to become human shields against tyranny that is upon us. This is a government that kills U.S. citizens without a warrant or trial, has declared the right to indefinitely detain anyone without a warrant or a trial. It organizes a state of virtual military siege against the population of Boston. It violated the Miranda rights. It has placed Snowden on a no-fly list. It has demanded Hong Kong return Snowden outside its framework of law. The U.S. has threatened with all sanctions to all countries who stand up for human rights, and they do not respect the UN asylum guarantees for political refugees. It even undertook, it undertook the unprecedented step of ordering military allies to ground a Latin American president's plane in search of a political refugee. It has set out an illegal international witch hunt to prevent Snowden from seeking asylum. It wants to silence Snowden by whatever means necessary, and we're not going to let them! Has made us all painfully aware that we have a beautiful set of rights and codes to protect us, but they have also taught us that we need to task our governments to enforce them because they have been supremely violated. They are massively violated and forfeited but we are the people. We have to hold them into account. This is a great era of rediscovering democracy and social values and civic duties. I invite you all, go out and task your government. Ask them, what is this? This is just an unacceptable condition. We cannot allow that the war on terror change our constitutional structures. It changes the way we define ourselves as a political culture, as a community of nations, or as human beings. As members of civil society, we need this disruption in order to task our governments to uphold the law. And then so be it. May a new era of Enlightenment 2.0 begin. Solidarity worldwide. Just about finished. Thank you. We need to hold open, participatory, policy-making debates and design a new approach to the internet by embracing principles of privacy, of freedom of information, of expression, of access, of self-determination of personal data, of openness, as well as the free flow of information, and build societies that we envision to live in the future. And please, let's do all we can for Bradley Manning. Thank you very much.
So, jetzt kommt erstmal nochmal der Bruno Gramm, Musiker und Pirat, der muss nämlich dann zu seiner Tochter. Und danach die Uda Köbernick, Musikerin und Kabarettistin.